The index tracking team within Ashburton Investments currently offers investors access to unlisted index tracking unit trusts as well as listed exchange traded funds. Our product ranges across multiple asset classes, providing investors access to multiple strategies, which include smart beta, as well as market capitalization indices as part of our product offering. Today, I would like to provide you with some more information on the latest addition to our product offering, being the Ashburton Global 1200 Equity ETF. For those investors who are not specifically familiar with the structures of an exchange-traded fund, an exchange-traded fund is merely a collective investment scheme or fund which aims to track the performance of a specific index. The fund will hold the constituent securities or underlying exposures in proportion to the index itself, aiming to provide investors with cost-effective exposure to a specific index. The Ashburton Global 1200 Equity ETF is a JSE listed first, which provides investors with access to both developed as well as emerging markets globally. The Ashburton Global 1200 Equity ETF tracks the S&P Global 1200 Index, which is also a world first in terms of a fund that has been launched to track this specific index. But what is the S&P Global 1200 Index and what does it aim to track? The S&P Global 1200 Index captures approximately 70% of the world's market capitalization. The construct is a composite of 7 headline indices, these being among the S&P 500, which provides US exposure, the Europe 350, which provides investors with the European exposure, as well as the FTSE 100, which is incorporated in the Europe 350. Other areas of exposure would be Canada, Latin America, as well as Japan. The Ashburton Global 1200 Equity ETF currently invests in 30 markets globally, of which 23 comprise developing and 7 being the emerging sphere. The Ashburton Global 1200 Equity ETF physically holds the underlying securities, meaning that an investor can gain access to approximately 1,200 equities by buying one ETF unit. But, of course, cost matters. So how much will this fund cost me? The Ashburton Global 1200 Equity ETF will currently cost the investor, in terms of an annual management fee, 37 basis points, or, plainly speaking, 0.37%. Considering the global exposure that the actual fund provides the investors with, I'm sure this is something to smile about. As with all investment decisions, diversification is key. Offshore investments provide investors with this diversification benefit, not only from a geographical perspective, but also in terms of currency. The Ashburton Global 1200 Equity ETF assists investors in diversifying their portfolios by providing them with cost-efficient, convenient access to the global equity market. Investors do not need to be concerned about offshore allowances, tax clearances, and the like, and can invest conveniently directly on the JSE. You can access our listed funds directly via your stockbroker. For our unlisted index tracking unit trusts, you can access them via the linked investment service provider or any LISP platform, as well as directly online via Ashburton Invest.